Ooh, you good? Hey guys, how we doing? This is Joshua Dollar here. We are here for another episode. I guess this is going to be the true first episode. We've already put out my first episode, but it was kind of more of a test run. So we're going to consider this to be the true first episode of the Unnamed podcast about everything health, wealth, and happiness. I got actually a guest on today, Mr. Matias. I got with me. I'm actually at his place, at his house right now. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Miles.
Hi guys, my name is Matias. Right now I do credit repair. I teach courses on Teachable. And I'm getting into YouTube and a bunch of other things with the cash flow that I have right now.
Yeah, so Miles is a business partner of mine. We've known each other for a couple years now. Got to know each other through the credit industry. We were both kind of just getting started with things, trying to figure out the industry, and neither of us were afraid to take risks and to just kind of get in there and start doing it. And he was hitting me up on Instagram about, he had some questions about some certain things, and I would answer it. And eventually it got to the point where he was learning a lot of stuff that I didn't know and was implementing all this stuff that I didn't know, and it turned into a really great friendship and great business partnership here. So I'm really happy to have you on my first true episode here of the Unnamed podcast about everything health, wealth, and happiness.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't know is I got into the credit industry by being exposed to Tai Lopez. When he had Stephen Lau on, that kind of just changed the game and the world of credit. I feel like for the younger generation, it opened a lot of things up that wasn't on our minds. So Josh had paid for some time with Stephen Lau, made a course, which I saved up at the time. I was only making like $1,600 a month and really struggling, but I saved up the money, bought the course, and I utilized that to just make maybe $100 or $200 extra a month, get all my sign-up bonuses, use a lot of the knowledge I got from Josh to like get hotels at Vegas for next to nothing.
We had some pretty fun Vegas trips over the
last
last
couple
couple
of
years.
Vegas trips, had
3 or 4
awesome times.
Those are fun.
And for me, buying this course, I asked so many questions and really just genuinely want to get to know him and see what we can do. So I invested in mentorship. He invested in mentorship. We kind of just put our heads together and kind of just took it from there.
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a fun process for sure. And I kind of had the same idea going into it as you when I first learned about credit. I saw it through Tai Lopez. I saw Stephen Lau's ad for it, and I was very lucky that growing up, my mom always told me credit is very, very important. Both my parents are business owners. My dad owns a construction company. My mom's an esthetician, and she explained to me at a young age, take care of your credit first of all. My brothers screwed up their credit, and she had to fix it for them. So she said, whatever you do, don't screw it up. But she didn't tell me what that meant. She just said, don't screw it up. So when I was, 19, 20 years old, I saw this ad on credit and how it works, and how you can utilize it to your benefit. It was like $600 at the time. I was busting tables. I didn't have $600. But I told myself, hey, I just got my first credit card. Maybe I can put it on my credit card and I'll learn how to pay it off or something in the credit course that, maybe I'll learn something in the credit course that will help me out. And that's actually pretty much exactly what happened. Like, I learned so much. My mind was blown with some of the information, and I just dove headfirst into it, started reading all these different articles. I signed up for like 15 or 20 different accounts, like fairly quickly within the first year. And then from there, just kind of continued to build, We actually have a little booklet right here that Miles has, because I don't have mine with me. It's at home. I'm over at Miles' place right now, but he's got a whole booklet of all of his cards right now. And we kind of wanted to go through some of these and just talk about like the benefits of them, what we use them for, which ones we don't use. And that way, if you guys have any of these cards that we're talking about and maybe they have benefits you didn't realize, and you're going to learn some really cool stuff right now. So we'll start off with some of these cards here. What do you think? What do you got first, Miles?
I think we'll just go over all of them, but talk about the fun ones.
Yep.
So I have this is a Charles Schwab debit card.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people can see that from there.
Well, yeah, we're also recording this, so we're going to be doing a podcast/YouTube page as well. So it's going to be going up on YouTube as well as on podcast. If you guys want to watch this also, you can go ahead and check that out on YouTube. But Charles Schwab debit card. So why is it important to have this Charles Schwab account?
I would just say it's a great brokerage account, high yield checking. to my knowledge, I don't know if they've taken it away or not, but you're able to use any ATM with no fees.
Mhm.
You do get charged the fees, but I think after like a 30-day cycle, they'll just credit it.
Yeah, they usually credit your fees back for you.
And it's a very easy portal if you want to buy stocks and bonds and buy and hold investments. Like if you're buying and holding stock for your lifetime or for many years, it's a great, easy, user-friendly brokerage account.
Mm-hmm.
I used Charles Schwab, but I had used Capital One Investing, which they sold to E-Trade, so now it's all on E-Trade. But the bulk of my investing is done on E-Trade now. But the Charles Schwab card, I actually got it from an offer code where if you put money into the account, I think they gave you like $200 or something like that.
Yeah, that was the same code that I had actually, or the same offer
I
that I got.
Maybe from your course, I believe.
I got it from Steven's course.
He got it from Steven's. I got it from his.
It was just a good sign up, like free $200 basically for opening a checking account.
I think I put I didn't have any money, so I put like $5 in it, got the 200 out, and used it to help me pay my bills. It was nothing for investment at that point.
Free money basically just for signing up. And I think I may be mistaken. So is it this Charles Schwab debit card that allows you to transfer MR points into cash? No, that's the platinum Charles Schwab card,
but
correct?
You actually do need the account itself.
You still need the account, right? So so that's one of the reasons why you really, if you have the American Express Platinum by Charles Schwab, and you have the debit account with Charles Schwab, you're able to transfer your MR points or your membership rewards points with American Express into your checking account, and you're only able to do that through these cards. So
you get an extra 25% on all your points.
Yeah, so they're worth more. So for anybody out there listening that has an American Express account and you have a lot of MR points that you're sitting on that you don't use, try to get yourself the Charles Schwab Platinum card, or try to get into this debit account and maybe just cash out all your points for cash if you don't plan on using it for travel or anything.
And it's considered a gift, so you don't have to pay taxes on it. You need the brokerage account, which comes with like the high yield checking and savings and all that stuff, which is actually no fees. To my knowledge now, I don't pay any fees on mine. And the Amex Charles Schwab is a personal credit card, so it's a good. For me, if I was going to have any platinum, it would be the Charles Schwab Platinum. It wouldn't be any other one.
Not really any point in getting any other ones because it gives you all the same benefits, but you're not able to cash out your points.
Yeah, so huge.
Yeah, that's like the big deal. What's the redemption exactly for anybody listening to? So let's say you have, let's say you have 100,000 MR points. What's that going to translate to in cash? It's like roughly.
roughly
$1,200.
$1,250, I think it is, because 1.25.
Yeah, and a lot of times the sign-up bonus on those cards are going to be 700 to 150,000 points. Or I'm not 700, 75,000.
Yeah,
excuse me,
like
75,000 to 100,000 points.
70 to 100,000 for sure.
So that's roughly $700 to $1,000 just in a sign-up bonus.
Mm-hmm.
So, right there, just free money, basically. What do we got next here?
I have the Wells Fargo Platinum.
So, okay, I don't have any Wells Fargo credit cards, actually. What's your experience with this one?
I've only used it once or twice. It's kind of one of those cards I got. Well, it's got no annual fee. When I opened the bank account, they offered it to me.
Yeah.
So it was super easy to get. Got like a $6,000 limit on it. I don't think there's a lot of a point value or a point system to it.
I think the only Wells Fargo card that's really has any sort of point system is the Propel.
Yeah, this is the Wells Fargo Platinum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get offered the Propel or even apply for it. But, yeah. Wells Fargo doesn't really have much credit cards. I think they have like one business credit card and like an actual credit line you can apply for, but they don't really got much as far as cards go. Yeah,
really the only credit card worth going for with Wells Fargo is probably the Propel, which has some really good benefits to it.
Yeah, it has its own point system.
It actually won also like in NerdWallet, like some of the best cards of the year. But
I believe it is a no annual fee as well, so it might have a lot of value for being a no annual fee.
Yeah.
My next card is the USAA. It's actually a debit. I actually have the USAA in this book.
The USAA credit card.
I got to go through them.
You got a lot of credit cards when you have to flip through your book, through pages of the book, be like, wait, where did I leave? Where's this credit card at?
Yeah, I got a USAA credit card. It almost seemed like too easy.
Yeah.
They just throw limits right at you.
Yeah.
I got like 7,800 applying with credit that was almost maxed out.
Uh-huh.
I was at like 68% utilization. My score was like in the 650s, and since I removed my own inquiries, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna do a sequence and just see what I can get. And I got a card with USAA. It's like I think that was like my only one for the whole time.
From my experience from talking to people, banks and credit unions that are affiliated with military are a lot more willing to lend.
They just give you. They practically just give you money.
Yeah. Military, just by being in the military, you have a lot of benefits. When it comes to lending, you have the Military Lending Act and the Military Housing Act and all those things. Which, if you don't know about those and you're in the military, look them up. You have a lot of benefits that will help you out. And maybe go to like a local credit union or banker like a USAA or a Navy Federal or something and talk to somebody there, because they should be able to explain to you all your benefits. But just by being in the military, you get a ton of lending benefits. What do we got next?
Right now I just got a Lowe's.
You got Lowe's. You got Home Depot too. What's that?
I got Lowe's.
You have a lot of department. I don't have like hardly any department store cards.
Well, my credit was 620 because I had like 99% utilization. I got 28 hard inquiries.
Jeez.
On Experian. I had like 15 on TransUnion Equifax at the time. This is like before I even learned credit repair. I think the first thing I learned was inquiry removal, and I just wiped all my inquiries out within like 6 months.
And for anybody listening who doesn't know what we're talking about when we say inquiries, an inquiry is when you actively apply for credit. So say you go apply for a credit card or you apply for a car loan or something, they're going to run your credit, and that's going to be considered a hard pull, which is going to show that somebody looked at your credit and that you are actively applying for credit. And that's going to show up as an inquiry on your report. Generally, one inquiry is going to affect your score anywhere from like 2 to 10 points, depending on how many you have. So if you have like 20, 25 plus, that could definitely affect your score quite a bit. But when we're talking about inquiries, that's what we're referring to. So sorry, continue.
No worries, but Lowe's gave me like $7,000 as well.
And I think with those home department stores too, again, a lot more willing to lend to people.
Oh yeah, Home Depot and Lowe's just
they throw money at you because they want you to come in there and they want you to buy the table saw and they want you to get all the lumber that you want for your patio and they want you to build a swimming pool and everything, So they'll give it.
Home Depot actually gave me like $75 off my order if I applied.
Yeah.
So hey, what the heck?
Yeah.
And the thing is, I actually had a fraud alert on Experian. So while I was standing there in front of the lady, just a cashier that did the application right on the computer, I gave her all my information. Someone from corporate Home Depot gave me a call on the phone and had me pass it to the person I was with.
Really?
It was a very weird experience, but I guess with a fraud alert, they take it super seriously to make sure that, because I guess it is common that people just go in someone's name, open up the card,
of course,
max it out, then bam, that person's stuck with this huge debt.
I mean, identity theft affects... Identity theft is not a joke, Jim. Thousands of families are affected every year.
Easily over like 15 to 30 million people. But Home Depot, it's just a point system. You get discounts. And Lowe's gives you 5% off, but if you spend over like, I don't know if it's like $800 or $1,000, they'll give you no interest for 6 months. So if you're like, we're just making a big purchase and don't want to have to think about a big payment or interest, you can spend $1,000, buy like a new washer, dryer, different things like that.
What bank is for Home Depot on their credit card?
No, I don't know if it's Synchrony or... Yeah, Lowe's is Synchrony, which is a crappy bank.
Home Depot. Oh, Citibank. Oh, wow.
No way.
Card issued by Citibank, Home Depot. Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, the Lowe's is a Synchrony, so it's not the greatest.
When I signed up for the Apple credit card when it came out, which is through Goldman Sachs,
oh yeah,
I had a fraud alert at the time. They pulled TransUnion. I had a fraud alert, and I applied knowing I had the fraud alert just because I was like, screw it, let's just apply, see if I get it. I really didn't care if I got it or not. And I instantly got a phone call from Goldman Sachs, and they asked me, they're saying, oh, someone just applied for credit using your social and everything. We just wanted to make sure this was you. This is being recorded, just so you know. So
they take it real seriously.
Yeah, they took it very serious, and I was just like, oh yeah, no, this is me, and they asked me a couple of security questions so I can verify my identity, and then they went ahead and ran my credit. Didn't even matter that I had a ton of inquiries at the time, and I also had the fraud alert, and I still got instant approval for like a $6,500 limit, with that. So, but at that time, Apple was just throwing those cards away. Like if you didn't apply for the Apple credit card, you missed out because they were just giving them out.
They were doing it with just soft inquiries.
Yeah, soft inquiries too.
Freeze your report.
Yep.
They'll soft inquiry it.
Yep, and a soft inquiry if you don't know, opposite of a hard inquiry, obviously, where a hard inquiry will show up on your credit report, a soft inquiry will not. So a lot of times if a company is going to pull your report, ask them if they're going to be doing a hard or a soft inquiry. If it's a soft, then it's not going to show on your report, so you can just go ahead and let them pull. It doesn't matter. Cool. Let's move on to like a more usable card, something you use more on a daily basis, one with better rewards that you really like.
Well, I love Citibank. I have a Citi Rewards I don't really use because the reward system stinks.
Not the greatest.
But I also have one of my personal favorites is the Citi Double Cash.
Ooh, I love the Citi Double Cash.
I love the Double Cash. I've made so much money using this just for manufacturer spending purposes.
Yep.
And right now I have the AA Advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I like to do is...
Which one is that? Let me see that one.
I kept getting approvals in the mail,
Mile up.
but I didn't think I was going to get approved for it. Because I'm like, dude, my utilization is so high still. I'm in so much debt before I paid off all my debt. And I'm like, man, I'm not going to get approved. But for 3 months straight, they sent me an offer. So I did it over the mail. And pretty much every single mail-in that I've applied for, I've gotten.
Mailers,
it goes straight to an underwriter.
Yeah, so usually the mailers go to an underwriter, and they usually have
a manual review.
The manual review, but they usually have like the targeted offers and everything through the mailers too.
So they already kind of know what to expect.
They usually do. And something that I've actually seen in the community on Reddit on r/churning, if you want to get into the churning community, go on Reddit r/churning. I saw someone say that, you know, there's people out there that sell their mailers, and you could actually apply using somebody else's mailer code so that you have better chances of approval.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
You know,
if you're being targeted, they're doing a soft pull, so they're going to know what's going on with you.
What I like about this Advantage card that you have, I have an Advantage card also. I have the American Airlines, the Platinum one.
I think this is the basic.
This is the
American
Mile
Airlines.
Up, I think. Yeah, Advantage Mile Up. But even with the basic one that you have, it's still a World Elite MasterCard.
Yeah.
So
even the Apple Card is a World Elite.
Yep.
The Citi Double Cash is a World Elite.
For people who don't know what we're talking about, this is a hidden perk to a lot of credit cards that nobody really knows about. So what I want you guys to do, anybody who has a credit card, Visa or MasterCard, go ahead and pull out your credit card and look on the bottom right side of it, on the back of your card, usually is where it is. It will say MasterCard or Visa, and it will either say, if it's a Visa, it will say either Visa, it will say Visa Signature, or it will say Visa Infinite. If it's a MasterCard, it will say either MasterCard or MasterCard World Elite. If you have a Visa Infinite or a MasterCard World Elite card, you instantly are given so many benefits that you don't even understand. Like, for example, one of the World Elite benefits with MasterCard is if you book a select flights with your MasterCard, you can upgrade that flight to a business class for free just because you used your World Elite credit card. People don't know that.
Which flights?
They're select flights, so usually they're more specific. Maybe you have to call in and figure out, you know, what are the flights right now that are upgrading to business class. But I mean, if you're just a traveler and you want to go somewhere and you don't have a plan on exactly where you want to go, it's just like go somewhere wherever they have the flight pattern at that time and go on a fun trip and fly business class. It's going to be a lot of fun. You also get instant upgrades into the platinum status for car rentals, which is something that you found, Miles, right?
Yeah. I actually called the World Elite hotline and I asked them what they could do for me because I just had no idea. And I have a close friends that I put all this information in as I was doing it at the time.
You're good.
Yeah, we're still good.
Yeah.
And they just said that they can get me the highest status with Sixt. They get me the highest Sixt car rentals. They can get me status with Enterprise, the highest status with Enterprise. They can get me like a mid-tier status with Hertz at the time. And they can get you airline stat. They can just get you like a ton of different statuses. They'll update your portals for you. They'll do everything within 7 days.
Yeah, and that's without even having to spend a dime.
Nope,
that's just
free.
for having the card.
And they do have a concierge service where you can book your flights through the World Elite portal. It's a MasterCard World Elite portal where a lot of those perks apply, like upgrades, different things like that.
Yep. So that's probably where you would go to figure out the flight pattern for the upgrade flights and stuff.
And the flights are not much. They're not really any different from going on like a kayak.com or Travelocity. It's just,
they all more or less run through the same system too.
Yeah.
Like all those search engines, they pretty much use the same software.
Yeah, so the flights are the same, and they just come with more perks because it's World Elite, and people have no idea that they have World Elite cards.
Yep.
They're not taking advantage of when they travel.
Yeah,
and they have all these statuses.
The Apple credit card doesn't even say it. It doesn't.
It doesn't market it at all.
It doesn't show it, like even on the credit card. It doesn't show that. But it is a World Elite credit card, so you can call it in. Anyone who has the Apple Card, call it in and ask what are my benefits. You look it up on Google too. Visa Infinite benefits. World Master or Mastercard World Elite benefits. It will blow your mind how much free stuff you are missing out on.
Especially with traveling. I know for Mastercard, you had to go on Mastercard.com and like create an account.
Oh yeah,
and all that stuff, and they help you. For me, I needed help setting it up because it's kind of at the time I did it last year in 2019, it was kind of an older looking website, so it was quite difficult. But I love the City Double Cash and the AA Advantage just for MS. I put all the fees on the Double Cash, like $1,000 on it, and another $1,000 on the AA Advantage, no fees, so I get the points. And I always put the fees on the Double Cash. I use the cash back to pay the fees.
Genius. Just
like
a
whole
pro.
entire purchase. Yeah. So I've done that to get a ton of points. With Capital One, I was doing it with my Capital One venture. I'm gonna have it.
There you go.
My wife got 2 of them, but this is my wife's. It's a venture. I'm actually put her on a flight. She's a wedding photographer. Need to go to Vegas, and I was just doing it for a while, just for no reason at all, just for a rainy day, really. And I was just using my Double Cash, throwing all the fees on it, and putting $1,000 or $2,000 on it, and just cycling that. Then using my venture one, and I got up to probably 60,000 points. And I put it on a round trip flight. I think twice I did that, just for the free flights, and it was awesome.
How great of a feeling is that too, to be able to just send your wife on a trip for her works for
she was worried about how are we going to do this, because at the time we were not really having a lot, so that was just a really cool feeling to know that.
Definitely. I
worked hard the past couple of months to save up these points just for something like this.
Nice. Well, we're running a little low. We're running up on 20 minutes now. A little past 20 minutes, though. But I want to keep the episodes around 20 minutes. So let's wrap it up. Let's go over, last thing, your personal favorite credit card and why. What is the one that you usually would go to and why?
Since I have a business, I love the Amex Gold. Platinum and green. Right now I use my Amex green, my business green, for pretty much everything. Amex points are powerful. If you want to travel with them, they're getting you the best deal. Super flexible, a lot of partners. You can fly on a lot of different airlines. You do connecting flights, and you're going to get probably the best, cheapest deal. Partnered with Hilton. Great points with Hilton.
The Amex, the gold one you're saying, yeah. They have the Amex Aspire too, which is instant diamond status with Hilton, which is probably the best hotel credit card there is.
Absolutely. So that's on my list. Probably the business credit card too.
Yeah.
I'll probably hook it up to an Amazon store or something like that in the future.
Yeah, I think overall, Amex, it's safe to say, is probably one of the better credit card companies as far as rewards and everything.
Yeah. The fact that they have charge cards is just ridiculous.
Yeah. They're the only company that has charge cards.
You won't see any other company with a personal revolving.
Yeah.
The charge cards are similar to a net 30. You're just paying it off every 30 days. That's one of the things I like about it.
Yeah.
But definitely right now, my Amex Green Business is my favorite card to go to.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up now for this first real episode of the Unnamed podcast about everything health, wealth, and happiness. Right. Thank you, Miles, for having me over and being on my first episode. This has been a lot of fun. We're just going to keep getting better and better at this as time goes on.
Absolutely.
But we will see you guys on the next episode. Thanks.